be careful, do not make the same mistake, okay, as Buhari, or the same mistake that that Buhari made. Sani tells Tinubu, what mistake now we need to know? Is it in appointing competent ministers? Because I know that there is still a backlash between Sani, Michael Zekome, and Wike over the weekend. So, is this seeing Wike as not being competent? We don't know. So let's dive into the details so we don't speculate or insinuate. A former federal lawmaker who represented Kaduna Central Senatorial District in the 8th National Assembly, Sani, has warned President Bola Tinubu not to make the same mistake as his predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari. He advised the president to prioritize competence in his appointments. Exactly. Sani stated this during an interview with Channels Television Sunday Politics. So the former lawmaker claimed that during Buhari's 8 years administration between May 2015 and May 2023, nepotism was its peak, or was at its peak. So Sani said, I will advise President Tinubu to be careful not to make the same mistake President Buhari made, and I believe he is experienced to understand this. Under President Buhari, you have ministers that were appointed into office for the whole of 8 years. They were with him for the first tenure and the second tenure, and there was no cabinet reshuffle, no removal. Even if there was a removal, it takes 3 to 4 months to replace a minister. That was the way the country was governed. Under Buhari, we have seen nepotism at its peak, where people were appointed into office and left there even if they did nothing. Exactly. Appointed and left to remain the way they were. Not good enough. Okay? Not good enough. So he said if Tinubu is interested in results, competence should be his watchword. If this country has to move forward, we must treat the issue of competency as a qualification for appointment, he said. Okay, so the question now is, where does the issue of competency come? Because almost, if you look at the entire Buhari government, even right from Buhari himself, Buhari was not even competent in the first place. Okay, so incompetency begets incompetency. That is how it works. So in appointment, you will not expect appointment of a competent person by incompetent person. It's not possible, because you can also not rule out the role of competency in making a decision of who to appoint or who not to appoint. Okay, just like Sani has said, during Buhari, nepotism, tribalism, religious bigotry, and everything was at its peak, and most people were appointed because they know Buhari or they are from Buhari's place. Not that they were competent, not that they knew what they were doing. Because there were several ministers, even Buhari himself as the president did not know what he was doing. At the point, he was not even in charge of the government. Okay, so the president had to be competent first to be able to appoint competent people. That is it. And now in Tinubu government, would you say Tinubu is competent? Looking at what we have seen right from the first day of his inauguration as president of Nigeria, he started making mistakes, started taking wrong decisions, starting with the removal of fuel subsidy, to the floating of the naira exchange rate, to all the palliative measures they said they put in place and promises that have never worked. The economy now is bastardized seriously. So now, will you say Tinubu is competent? So if he's competent, then he will put competent people. But if he's not competent, then there's no way he will have that required resilience and competency to put the wrong people. That is the truth. So now, with Tinubu's performance, how do you expect the minister to perform? Look at the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu. Look at what they're doing with our economy today. Look at the CBN governor. Look at what they're doing with our exchange rate today. Okay, look at people like the former Minister of Humanitarian Ministry, Beta Edu. Look at what she ended up with in that ministry. A lot are happening. Look, there are several. In fact, even Gbadagba, the chief of staff to the president, who was also somebody that had allegations of corruption, because they said most of the people that were appointed as ministers had to go through him and bribed him, even though it was not further substantiated. But there's no smoke without fire. Okay, so now you see that there are, you see, when you see Tinubu's government, you see replication of a higher degree of incompetency than what was experienced in Buhari's time. We see high level of incompetency, we see self-centeredness, we see selfishness, we see embezzlement, we see all forms of, I don't know how to put it. Okay, so the country cannot move forward the way it is. Now the country has been dragged backward and it's about becoming, if not becoming, the poorest country in the world. Why is Nigeria in this condition? It's because of lack of quality leadership. We don't have quality leaders in Nigeria. And so Sani, yeah, it's good to bring out the point of competency, but you cannot, the president needs to be competent to appoint competent people, to see through the eyes of the needle to know who is competent and who is not competent. That is the truth. So it's a good advice that Tinubu should not toe the line of Buhari. Okay, make sure he appoints competent people. But look at the people that Tinubu has put in power. They were all the Lagos boys that worked with him when he was a governor of Lagos State. All of them. Who is Wale Edu, Gbadagba? Who are these people? Who is the minister of Interior? All these people are the boys. All the appointment is putting almost over 75% of the Yoruba boys that worked with him when he was the governor. So what do you call that? That is another nepotism worse than what Buhari did. It's the same thing. So, and just like Peter Obi was saying, that the Tinubu has done well and he has fulfilled his promise. And what was that promise? He promised to continue from where Buhari stopped. And that is exactly what he has done by continuing the failure of Buhari's administration. That's what we are seeing in this administration as well. Whether people like it or not, Nigeria is not moving forward. And it's not even in the trajectory to move forward. That is the truth. Now, there are a few comments here. Somebody is saying, which mistake did Buhari make that Tinubu has not made 3 times? Exactly. The same thing I was saying. All the mistakes that Buhari made, but Tinubu has made all of them more than 3-4 times. Words of wisdom. Senator Sani said it all. That is it. And somebody is saying the Nigerian state is structured in a way that nepotism must play a role and nothing can be done about it. The president cannot resist pressure from his tribe, likewise PMB. The question is not about resisting pressure. It's about putting the people that is loyal to them so that they can do what they want to do without anybody questioning them. That is it. So he has surpassed Buhari in terms of fugitive appointment already. His own is worst. That is, look at CBN, his brother. The Minister of Finance, just like I said earlier. The Minister of Finance is brother. FIRS is brother. EFCC is brother. The entire economic team is within his own brothers. Nobody to challenge him, exactly. Good one. Nobody to challenge him. Nobody to challenge him. So he has made series of mistakes already. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment over the advice that Sani is giving President Tinubu going forward.